It's day 46. So today I want to talk about something that we've been doing at work and at my new job, and it was a training that I had to take, and I thought it was going to be really stupid, but it actually turned out to be really cool, and it's called the R Factor, and I'd never heard of it before, but apparently lots of football teams use this, and lots of businesses are using this now, and the idea behind the R Factor is a simple equation. And maybe I'll put it up on the screen when I do the editing here, but it's E plus R equals O. So we're going to do some math.
I don't like math.
Okay, well, it's pretty easy. So E is an event that happens. So something happens.
Okay.
That event plus your response to that event, so the R is the response, equals some outcome. Okay, so you can't control really the outcome that much. You can't control the event that happens. So using a little bit of math terms, those are constants, sort of. The O changes, but the E is a constant. You can't control it. It happens. So what do you control in that formula?
The R.
The R. So that's why it's called the R Factor. You control your response. It's the one thing that you control 100%. So you can always control your response. And what happens is you'll find that when these events occur and you have a good response, that you get a better outcome.
Right.
And so there's two types of response. I'll go through real quick and then we'll get into everything. There's two types of responses. There's above the line response and below the line response. So an example of a below the line response is, let's say somebody cuts you off in traffic. A below the line response would be give them the finger, yell at them, and scream.
Hey kids, look, a deer!
Okay? Doesn't really do anything. Doesn't change your outcome. Doesn't make you happier. Well, maybe, I don't know. But it's a below the line. It's a reactionary response.
Kind of sounds like below the belt.
Right. Kind of. So an above the line response is something like you're going to take your time. You're going to, you're not going to get mad. You're going to be like, hey, maybe this person, is in a really big hurry. And
so you'd be thoughtful.
Thoughtful and mindful. So actually there's 6 things that you should do in these responses.
Okay.
And they're called the R Factor disciplines. And so they're really kind of the steps. And let me go through them and we'll talk about them. But the first one is press pause. So when an event happens, you shouldn't react. You shouldn't just immediately run and do whatever comes to your head. Because normally that's not the right thing to do.
Maybe we just shouldn't get married at all.
Maybe not. Pause. So you're just like starving?
Totally.
So, your children are bad. Your first response is to yell and scream, right? Or the dog. The dog's misbehaving. So instead of that, press pause. Okay? To give yourself a minute to either react how you want to react a little bit or collect your thoughts. And that's actually...
I would just get a pro tip to husbands out there. Maybe don't say when your wife is mad, let's press pause, honey, because that's going to get you like a punch in the face.
Snap out of it!
Unless it's something that you agree on as a couple, right? As a framework.
I'm just saying when people are mad,
Yes.
don't tell a woman to press pause.
All right. Well,
It's like telling her to calm down.
the second thing that you're going to do is get your mind right. And so this is really, after you press pause, get your mind right. Make sure that you're in the right frame of mind. You're calm. You're to make a decision. The third thing is to step up. So this is where you want to take the action. You want to take the action to get the outcome that you want.
Okay.
And then the fourth is adjust and adapt. So things change. You got to be flexible. You got to be able to adjust and adapt your approach. The fifth step is to make a difference. Remember that your response and your outcome can be an event for somebody else. So you want to make sure that your outcome is beneficial to everyone, not just yourself or harmful to somebody else.
Right.
And then finally, it's build skill. So practice this in your everyday life. So I really like this because
I feel like it relates to what we're doing.
I think it relates 1,000% to what we're doing. Because I think what we've done a lot is when there's a stressful event, our response is, let's go eat something bad for us.
Yes.
What's the outcome of that? The outcome of that is,
I can't stop eating. I eat because I'm unhappy. And I'm unhappy because I eat.
Right?
Well, and even in like
Or not
the
making you
moment,
feel well.
or a couple hours later, you don't feel well. So,
Right.
for sure.
So that's not the outcome that you want. So
Right.
what do you control? You control the response. So when something bad happens, instead of reaching reactively towards something
That's what you
that
could.
makes you feel better,
Now, I will say, in the scenario of the food, that's a definite moment of pressing pause.
press pause. Right.
I was just teasing you.
And I think, well, no, I know. And I think it's not just food, but it's any addiction.
Oh, yeah.
Your initial response is to go do that thing that makes you feel better or that numbs your pain.
Right.
And, I think that's where the press pause comes in. Give yourself a second to think.
Food or food-like products that we eat now are designed to make you not be able to have just one.
Right. To make you want more.
Yeah. So, and I always like to say, like, I think people should totally take responsibility for their health and everything like that. But there is something to be said for it not always being your fault.
Right.
And I would never want to, like, one way or the other. I people should take responsibility, but also know that they do add stuff to our food.
Right.
It's not great, and I know I'm going way off topic now.
It's okay. No, but I can bring us back home.
Okay.
Because that's
Bring us
that's your response, right? You control that. You control what goes. Not only you control what goes in your body, you control the research that you do to figure out what it is that's bad for you.
But I think they try to keep that from us.
Sure, but but we have these. They can only keep so much, and they can try, but it does come out, and you just have to be smart.
One day we'll talk about who these they are.
Yeah. Let's not go there. But all right, we gotta get going. I gotta go pick up
a kid.
Pick up kids. So
Okay.
we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.